In a dim-lit tavern, smoke in the air, I gathered my friends with stories to share. We rolled out the dice, our hearts beating fast, in a world of magic where legends are cast. Fortunes favor the bold, or so they say. With a roll of the dice, we will find our way. Cards on the table, fate in our hands. In this life of fantasy, together we stand. Through dungeons we wander with courage our guide. The thrill of adventure we'd never subside. With each unearthed secret and each cautious step, we chase down our futures on every chance left. Fortunes favor the bold, or so they say. With a roll of the dice, we will find our way. Cards on the table, fate in our hands. In this life of fantasy, together we stand. We summoned our courage as the lanterns dimmed. A beholder lurking with intentions grim. With blades at the ready, an incantation strong. The taste of vengeance, we will right the wrong. Fortunes favor the bold, or so they say. With a roll of the dice, we will find our way. Cards on the table, fate in our hands. In this life of fantasy, together we stand. The bard sang a shanty of battles won and lost. As laughter echoed, we counted the cost. We dined upon a feast at the spit and grease. The smell of ale and the fires warm below. We gathered our party, ready to go. Fortunes favor the bold, or so they say. With a roll of the dice, we will find our way. Cards on the table, fate in our hands. In this life of fantasy, together we stand. So here's to the warriors, the magic and might. To friends who stand tall through every dark night. With a toast to the journey and mugs in the air, we'll write our own story with fortunes laid bare. Or so they say. With a roll of the dice, we'll find our way. Cards on the table, fate in our hands. In this life of fantasy, together we stand. So let's gather again under starlit skies, with echoes of laughter and our dreams on the rise. In this tale of legends, where magic is spun, we will keep rolling the fates till our journey is done.
Everyone.
Hello.
Yay.
Yeah.
About time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So where we start our hopefully wonderful adventure here is fucking year 1488.
Okay.
I wasn't even alive then. That's crazy.
We're on the world is always on the cusp of change, on the cusp of new dangers, new wars, as well as new exciting, potentially extraplanar events. And for our story and purposes, we are moving to the town. Well, we are starting off in the town of Neverwinter.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
I...
There it is. Neverwinter. Oh, wow.
Come on.
Alright,
Come on.
not gonna lie, wasn't expecting you to pick Neverwinter.
No?
No.
Why didn't we go somewhere cool like Long Saddle or Morger's Mound? Whatever the fuck that means.
Also, slightly having an I'm gonna have to figure something out for this, but I'm slightly having an issue finding where the camera is on these images.
Great.
All right, and so where we start off is Runa.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Where she
Yep.
is?
Yes. You've your ship battered, beaten, sort of out of commission, as it were,
Hmm.
currently. Unfortunately, you, well, not so unfortunately, but rather not quite where you would like. You have had to return to the city of Neverwinter a bit sooner than you might have wanted to,
Hmm.
but your ship wasn't going much farther without repairs anyway. So you've shuffled up to the docks in order to hopefully find a way to get your ship fixed or a way to pay for it.
Right.
Where am I in this story? This
Yep.
story's stupid. I'm not in it. I thought I was the main character.
Oh god.
So, out of game here. Am I supposed to go and find work or find, a tavern or something where I can, procure whatever? Is that where we're starting off at?
Perhaps meet a.
Or is there something more that you have leading up right now?
Perhaps.
No, we're just starting in that general area.
Okay.
Your ship is down out of commission. You have unfortunately had to return to Neverwinter, as it was really the closest bit of civilization you had
Right.
to come to. Because while not ideal, the seas are rarely ever working in your ideal. In favor of you.
All right, well, I guess I would head to the nearest tavern then.
Alright. Let's see.
Or perhaps a place where I would procure, some type of bounty or work.
Alright. So, let's see here.
After all, I'm going to need money to finance my ship.
Of course.
Because ship repairs aren't cheap.
No, not at all.
Gesundheit.
All right.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Holy fuck.
That's Elvish for bless you.
Well, thank you.
Alright. So you make your way out into the... Make sure I'm getting fucking names right. You make your way out into the Happy Wizard.
What a name.
Yes.
Happy wizard.
Yep, the Happy Wizard is located in the Tower District, which I genuinely kind of wish I had the fucking interactive map open. That is on me.
I say as well versed as I am with the story of, D&D and Faerun, I cannot tell you specifically locations like that. So I'm not of help.
I don't know nothing. Anyway.
As much as I like Neverwinter, my experience was pretty exclusive to the games.
Oh yeah, and the absolute bullshit of that.
Mhm.
Whew. Ah, she's gone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yep. Let's see here. And
Zack,
because
you deleted her.
She really went.
Oh yeah, deleted. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, on her way there, fucking Red Dragon picked her up and ripped her in half.
Cool.
Dear God.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is
if
a
you want
great game.
Yeah, if you want an act of God, there it is.
Town
Yep.
is fucking huge. City.
Yeah. Yeah, it is one of the major cities. Yep. So yeah, you've made your way over to the Tower District. You've been keeping a low profile, as it were.
Mhm.
On your way through Neverwinter, quite a lot has changed. It is not quite the city you once remember. As unfortunately, it seems to be going a bit more toward. It seems to be going more in the route of becoming slums.
Mm.
And also
Everything
there's
seems
Red Dragon.
everything seems to be not as well taken care of as you would expect.
Plus, there's red dragons flying everywhere and picking people up and ripping them in half.
Yeah, and priests just outside going nope and shutting their doors.
Oh, that's gonna be hard. And the dragon comes.
It's like, well,
Stupid. Anyway,
I'm protected as long as I'm in church. Clutching their holy symbol of Lathander. But yeah, so you make your way to the Happy Wizard,
Okay.
which,
Do you have my icon on the map?
yes,
Oh, okay. Why don't I see it? Ah, cool. Thank you.
I hit snap players to view before, but I don't know if it took.
Oh, it didn't, but thank you. That works.
Good. All right. Yeah, is in. Yeah, just about this general area, the Tower District.
Right. Okay.
Notable, which
damn it.
was notable for having quite a few towers before, but now it seems that the only one you can see that's still standing is the Cloak Tower. Which is... Come on. Right there. Trying to remember how the ping system works.
I think that's
Yeah. And so, you enter the Happy Wizard. It's immediately, once you open the doors, you are hit with a smell most familiar and most pleasant to you. You smell coffee.
Perfect.
Yep, you're in the Happy Wizard. You smell coffee. You see not a lot of people in there, but like a fair amount, enough to keep it busy, right?
Mhm.
But not necessarily overwhelming as you'd expect, like something from the Yawning Portal.
Right.
Behind the counter, behind the counter, the barista, as it were,
Hmm.
seems to be a half-elf mage of some sort, you'd have to guess, who is sort of using their talents and skills to multitask. Keep things moving, keep things being made, while being able to attend to whoever else. So what would you like to do?
Well, I think I will saunter over to the bar, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
and order myself a coffee from the barista. And I'll say, could I please have a cup of that delicious smelling coffee?
Yes. Quite. What strength coffee would you like?
Doc, please.
This is when you realize that the bartender is just me with elf ears glued onto my normal ears.
Jesus Christ.
That's stupid. I'm sorry.
It's like shitty cosplay.
Yeah.
You didn't even use spirit gum, you used like Elmer's glue.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to be the funny haha man.
Yeah, it's a good thing you weren't playing horse, otherwise using Elmer's glue, that would have been kind of fucked up.
It's fine. I'm a horse named Elmer.
Oh my god.
It's my goal. Never mind.
Jesus Christ.
Never mind.
Oh my god, that's as bad as Critical Role is with their horse names.
That's a character in Animal Crossing.
Oh my god, I know.
Horse named Elmer. They knew what they were doing.
I know. I know. But at points in Critical Role, they've literally named the horse Lunch. As in lunch.
Oh no. Oh no.
Then there's also Glue Factory.
Of course there is.
It's
and
okay.
Water Closet, WC.
In Red Dead Redemption, I named my horse dog food.
Yep.
Alright. You're getting coffee. I'm sorry.
Yep. Alright, so barring that in mind, couple of minutes pass, and they just sort of come up while just sort of organizing everything behind the bar, and again, everything here in Neverwinter's not as great as it once was.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep things neat, organized, and in some form of order. You see their mage hand floats and place your coffee right in front of you, and they say that'll be 2 silver, please.
Okay, so I'm looking at my character sheet, and I'm not seeing my inventory.
You should.
I don't remember where that's under. Looking at my character sheet here.
Under the text one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. It's somewhere on here.
Oh, I found it, and I forget how many silver and a gold piece.
It's 1 to 10 the whole way down.
1 to 10. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. So it basically, we're not using Electrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be, gold, silver, platinum.
Mm-hmm.
But 1 platinum is 10 gold, 1 gold is 10 silver, 1 silver is 10 copper.
Gotcha.
Nice little even breakdown of everything. Since...
All right, so if I handed them a gold, I would get back 8 silver, correct?
Yes.
Okay. just want to make sure I'm getting this correct on my character sheet. I slide them the gold and say, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it."
Yes. No, it's always good to see a bit of an unfamiliar face around here. What
Well,
brings you?
Well, I'm looking for work, honestly. I had a bit of a mishap, and, well, I'm in need of funds. My ship, you see, it needs repaired. So, if you could point me in the direction of anybody who happens to be, paying for work, well, it would be very much appreciated.
Oh,
Yes.
I was gonna ask where's my gold at, but I don't have any. I found it. Never mind.
I was about to say, you two should have started with 50.
I have 0.
Oh, can I add? I can just add that, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's depending on your class and your background. Depends on like how much gold that you'll get.
I have gold now. Sorry. You were
It's
talking
okay.
about money, and I was like, how much do I have? I wonder, and I had none.
I have not, but the lint in my pockets.
You just pull out fur.
Oh no! All I have is these dark dollars. This is cool.
I have candy. You just pull out like 3 butterscotch pieces.
That's
with licorice.
That's a healing item, not money.
God damn it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Continue.
the barista just sort of gives a bit of a sigh and says, "Unfortunately, it seems that everyone's in need of money and work here these days. It's... things have been just a bit rough around here. They say, unfortunately, I, this is a bit of a one-person run-and-own shop. What sort of a skill set do you have? What can you do? Or what can't you do, even?"
Okay, so as part of my backstory, I have a skill. Let me find it here. Looking for it. It's basically a skill based around my reputation. Meaning that people usually know who I am when I tell them who I am. Not seeing the specific skill on my character sheet here. Alright, it's I actually didn't see it on my character sheet, but I could always add it. I did have a list of skills that I added on.
I was about to say, I know you had that. I'm just trying to see where...
It's called Bad Reputation, right?
Yeah.
It says no matter where I go, people are afraid of me due to my reputation. Whenever I'm in a civilized settlement, I can get away with a minor criminal offense, such as refusing to pay for food at a tavern or breaking down doors at a local shop, since most people will not report my activities to local law enforcement. So I'm going to kind of use this, not in exactly the way of I'm doing a crime, but of letting them know who I am in specific. So I'll say to the barista, "Well, I'm Captain Shayde Reynard, and, well, if you know me, you know my reputation, so, really, with my particular set of skills, anything's on the table. Like I said, I'm looking for work, I'm looking for coin, so if you know somebody, really, anyone, who's willing to pay for someone of my prestige, I'd appreciate you pointing me in their direction."
Ah, I see. Yes, I believe I have heard of you before. Well, the city wasn't. Well, I don't know how long it's been since you've been here, but could try, I believe. I believe they set up a post outside of the old castle, looking for a bit more unsavory types, such as yourself. I would probably I'd probably at least try there, though it's no guarantee. It seems this entire city is in with those of your skill sets these days.
I thank you for the information, and I slip them a couple more silver.
They give you a silent nod.
And I ask, well, before I head off, one more question. What exactly happened to the city here? Why is it in such disarray? When I last left, it wasn't like this. It was much nicer.
Well, unfortunately, there was a fellow from. There was unfortunately a fellow from Waterdeep who came through here and sort of screwed everything up. Everything just went to hell. The Knights of Neverwinter stopped heeding the citizens' call, and then, well, there's the undead, and the wall had to be built. It's been quite a lot. And it seems that the dangers just keep ramping up more and more, especially more out towards the countryside, and it's probably not long till it all moves inward to here. But we try the best we can to take care of each other, even if the knights won't anymore.
Great, wonderful. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I wish you and anyone you care about the best of luck here.
Much appreciated. Well, although, it does seem to be a bit of good luck for you, though.
So it would seem. But hopefully things can, well, get back to the way they were, if at all possible.
What?
Well, have a good day then. Farewell. And I turn, taking my coffee, sipping it, and leaving.
Yep. And with that, thing for the, petty crimes, that cup, you realize, does not actually need to be returned. As you just effectively walked out with the mug wholesale.
Ooh, he's still in.
Yep, with the mug in hand.
That's
And
add a mug to your inventory. It's yours now.
yep, you could say you mugged the barista. Yep. Yep, and as you make your way through, again, noting the state of disarray with everything. You can see, or rather, you can just barely see what used to be Castle Never coming up in the distance. Unfortunately, what it looks like currently is nothing more than, well, ruins. It seems like nobody's lived here for quite some time. Or rather, nothing has been in or out of the castle for quite some time. However, you do see a bunch of the old Neverwinter Guard. And I don't necessarily mean ones you remember, but it's definitely their armor, and there's probably at least bound to be one that used to serve in protecting the city before it sort of went to hell. Which, you'd expect for something like Baldur's Gate, but...
Right.
But as you're coming up on it, you can see a little bit of a commotion. A bit of an argument has broken out. As the Neverwinter Guard is trying to... Essentially, it almost seems like a bit of a recruitment type deal outside. But it's also apparent that that there have been a couple of shacks just sort of thrown up around the outside, around the just sort of the perimeter area of... Oh, I'm not on... not on table block. Around the perimeter, as it were, of the old Castle Never, from which they're, doing their, again, recruitment operations, as it were. You get closer, and you spot, there's, a little bit of a crowd is gathered, because, of course, any argument seems to lead to a fight, and it's always fun to see a fight. Especially when you can, maybe play some bets, and make a little coin off it, too. But, as also here, you notice among the people, the individuals around. Just trying to make sure that's in the... We don't have to fucking...
It's me, and you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yep. So we'll just... Yeah. Mostly because I don't know if that's still sent in the location or not. And so what catches your eye is not only the order... Is not only the... Is not only one of the Knights of Neverwinter getting what seems to be closer and closer to a physical altercation with an individual in armor you don't recognize, but behind them also appears to be, strangely enough, a tabaxi and a creature you've not seen before.
Seeing this argument, I'd, honestly be curious, so I'd saunter up and kind of step close, but not quite close enough to them. I'd say, excuse me, what pray tell is going on here? I was directed here looking for some work, and this is what I come into? The Neverwinter Guard behaving such in a manner. What's happening here?
Yes, as you can see, a couple more of the guard have come up to sort of essentially try and encircle what you see now to be a half-elf in armor. And the guard looks at you and immediately notices how you're dressed and just sort of gives a bit of a sneer your way and says, and they say, "What does your kind want here? This doesn't concern you." To which the half-elf interjects and says to him, well, not says to him, but says to you, "I am here merely requesting assistance with a bit of an urgent matter, and it seems that the guards of Neverwinter have lost all ambition and all sense of morality." Which, mind you, both of you are also seeing this, and you've been watching this argument go on for a bit now.
I am horrified because I'm not a fan of conflict, and I really just would like, instead of the argument happening, I would just like everybody to hug, but they won't listen to me. So I'm standing off to the sidelines sad because they won't fucking hug. Damn them, I think, but I would never swear. I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I turn to the half-elf and say, well, what is this problem that you're having, exactly? If they're not inclined to help, well then mayhaps I am. For the right coin, of course.
They'll be much appreciated since, well, these ones are a little more than useless these days. And
before he gets a chance to talk anymore, I kind of turn and I look at the Neverwinter Guards and be like, I remember there was a time when you were prestigious. What would happen to that? Anyways. And just completely ignore them from that point on, focusing on the half-elf.
Alright. So, the half-elf, you see, donning armor, no cloak, no cape, just really no extra dressings to it. And he raises his hand, reaches out to shake yours, and introduces himself as Chimerus Nyman.
Now, Runa, are you going to remember that character's name?
I'm opening up a text document right now.
That's your answer.
I open up the text document in my head and say, this person's name is this.
Dude McBro.
Homie
God.
McFeller.
My entire thing reset my whole ass fucking... Alright, so... where the
Zack,
hell
can
am
there
I?
be a character named Homie McFeller later?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so that's how you spell it. Oh god, my spelling was going to be completely wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
These fantasy names.
Yep. Also, I'm just trying to make sure I get the scale right for this. Yeah, that works. Alright. And yeah, I found a bunch of different tokens I can use for
Cool.
shit, so that works. I thought I put it into a different tab, but no. I am unorganized as fuck.
Hey, it's okay.
What did you spell? Like AI or something?
Yes.
Of course you did. Oh, cool. Also, apparently there's Tornado Watch out here, so that's nice.
Oh,
Fun.
great.
Yeah, love that. Anyway,
What's fucking tornado?
so Chimerus, as he reaches out his hand, you know, you just see very, very humble-looking armor and a lot of adornments.
Mhm.
You know, not really even much of a helm on him, or any sort of protective cover for the head. But you do notice the broadsword strapped to his side, as you are always keeping an eye out for anyone else's weapons.
Of course. In a kind gesture, I reach my hand out and shake his.
Yep. That good old classic feel of just, you know, old steel.
Mhm.
Not exactly... It's not exactly, warm up here in Neverwinter. It's not, by any means, you know, a snowbound city, but, you know, it's a bit nippy.
But I thought it was Neverwinter here.
Oh, it's
Well,
still
yeah,
in the
that's
north, and it's a little chilly out.
Well, yeah, no, it's Neverwinter.
Yeah. It's always like autumn or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad
But-
somebody got the dumb joke that I was making.
Look, now it's up to Zack, but we could explain why it's called Neverwinter. I know that lore.
That's good.
We're not gonna get into the ancient Neverwinter.
You don't gotta. I was just making a joke. It's fine.
I know.
I was just trying to be the funny haha man again.
Well, I was just gonna say you can wrap it up really, really simple in like one sentence.
It's called Neverwinter because it's never winter here.
Yeah,
Is that real?
kind of. I mean, it's on point.
Alright.
Like I said, it's
All right.
up to Zack. I don't want to give away game lore if Zack's going to explain it later. I don't want to be that person.
Oh, yeah. We'll save it then.
Yeah. Alright. So... And so he points to the two curious ones that you noticed earlier. And he says, these two thankfully have already agreed to help. And you just might be... The three of you just might be enough. It is a job that will pay decently well.
I notice you talking to him, and I take this to mean you're going to be hired. So I start waving really fast like a fucking idiot at you because I'm excited to make another friend.
I simply gaze over at the little goat man thing, raise an eyebrow, and then turn my attention back to the half elf. Well, like I said, if the coin's right, then I may be inclined to take up your proposition. Again, you still haven't told me what the job is.
He says, I'm actually a knight at Helm's Hold. Which, not exactly the closest thing to here, but which, not exactly a casual walk away. It isn't that far either. Out towards the Neverwinter Wood, there have been some concerning... There's been some concerning activity. There's been, unfortunately, a load of disappearances of... Well, at first it was, bandits, the unsavory highwaymen type, and nobody was paying it much attention. Less of them, the better it is for everyone traveling. But soon enough, nearby townsfolk started to disappear as well. And unfortunately, I sent out a pair of guards from Helm's Hold. I wanted them to go and find out what was happening, but unfortunately, they've never returned. And with more and more complaints coming out of Oakhurst of everything, of what's going on, something needs to be done. We need to find out what is happening, but unfortunately, I can't risk sending out more knights, as we don't really have that many ourselves.
So it's mercenary work then. Find missing people and put a stop to whatever's causing it. Do you have any further leads of what's going on with those missing people? Or do you just not know?
There's some amount of a lead, but I have still yet to talk with the person. They're out in Oakhurst. He says, well, me and my associates, we're going to head out to Oakhurst. Actually, right now, in fact. There, we will meet our contact. Well, and he says contact with, air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a contact, but an old friend living in Oakhurst who actually brought this to my attention in the first place.
Very well. What is the pay, though? That we still haven't discussed.
Yes, well, part of the pay on my end can either be, well, how about it's something we discuss on the way there? Because part of the payment, as it were, is going to be coming from the person in Oakhurst who brought this to my attention. Keemers has laid out his, essentially his game plan for everything, and that the situation is a bit more complicated than what he can immediately describe, and would require some travel to the... Let's see here, let me make sure I'm getting this right. To the son of a bitch. Yes, to the son of a... Yes, to the son of a bitch. Famous.
I don't think that's what it is.
Famous location of the Sword Coast. No, I'm just trying to make sure.
Look, if you said that was a tavern, I'd believe it.
Yep. To the outskirts of the Neverwinter Wood, just sort of on the forest line, to the town of Oakhurst.
Well, before we set off to leave, since he had just mentioned that we would talk about payment as we walked, I will retort, well, look, I have a ship to refit, a crew to feed, and, well, I need more than just talking about payment. I need to kind of know, in the ballpark at least, of what I might be looking at payment-wise.
Wait a minute. Did you just imply your crew is just like chilling on the boat waiting for you to be done with this?
I mean, they got their own shit that they're doing, but, kinda.
They're just vibing.
Well, I mean, a crew can't really do shit if the ship can't sail, so...
This is true.
They're getting real good at thumb wars. At thumb wrestling, yeah.
I'm gonna beat you this time.
Yeah, unfortunately, the orcs on your crew seem to have a distinct advantage for some reason. If only you had a Goliath.
Oh, I got a dragonborn now.
Anyway. And so, he replies to you, saying, well, I don't know how much it would cost to get the ship repaired. Probably, I'd say probably a fair amount. But I know many people, right? I would definitely be able to set something up, at least, that would not only repair your ship, probably upgrade it as well. However, the matter in Oakhurst still needs taken care of. Yes, the... Keemer is here. Has mentioned that he could most definitely get you a way to upgrade, probably, I'm going to say, probably upgrade your ship, as well as more than enough to pay for it. But that's... But you can tell he's slightly hesitant to talk about it directly. Furthermore, saying, my friend in Oakhurst would most definitely be able to pay a fair amount.
Well, if you can do what you say you can do, and refit my ship to where it can sail again, then, well, I'm inclined to go with you and hear about this quest. And I guess get to know your companions here, whoever they are. Either way, if the job gets done, and you pay me in the way that you say, then I'm in.
Wonderful. As for these two, pointing now in the direction of you two, Am and Erin.
I see you're pointing at me and I start waving again. Ah!
Question your sanity.
Much like you, I've happened to... I managed to happen upon them. But thankfully, they're also in need of work. He gestures for you two to come over.
Oh, I take Erin's finger in my tiny little hand and start walking toward you.
Guess I'll fall.
Yeah.
Got it right.
Uh,
I got
would you
back.
two care to introduce yourself? Would you all care to introduce yourselves to each other?
I bow my head and I speak very, I don't know. I bow my head to introduce myself. Hello there. My name is Ralse, and this is my new companion, Erin. What's your name?
Character, I don't remember. Do I have to say this whole thing, or can I shorten it?
Whatever you want.
I was gonna say it's your character.
Her name is Tiger. Name is Tiger. Hello.
Okay. Okay, here, I'll start over. I bow my head and speak very politely. Hello there, my name is Dark Prince Ralse, and this is my new companion, Tiger. We are working together for the same purpose, I assume. I'm bad at this.
I'm bad.
I never done this before. No.
To reply to them, I take off my hat and bow in a over-exaggerated gesture and say, "Greetings, my name is Captain Shayde Reynard of the pirate ship Hopsong. It's my very good pleasure to meet you."
I am visibly excited at meeting a pirate that is not a certain blue man that I know. Anyway,
A certain little fucker.
a certain man who speaks in a similar accent but is way less sophisticated somehow. Rules, Erin.
Yeah. Damn it! Yep. Alright. So, now that you're all acquainted, let's say we head back to the, my, cart I came in on. And make our way to Oakhurst.
Very well, I'll follow.
Yep. And so, we get outside to... We get to the outskirts, outside the walls of Neverwinter, right? Towards the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you see... a decent-sized cart. Can definitely fit a a small group of people, probably about 5 people in it, right? Or, a fair amount of supplies, whatever comes first, right? And you see, on top of the horse, you notice the humanoid figure, but it's not quite a person. They are clad head to toe in armor. What you could assume is armor.
It's not a person.
And he says, Kimmer's just says, the ride might be a bit bumpy, but it's not the worst. you get used to it after a while.
Describing something as not the worst is a bad way to describe anything.
And so is saying, you get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
I would like to perception check the armored figure.
All right.
So
let's see here. Yep.
So I roll a d20 for that, right?
Yep. D20 plus your perception in your skills list, which is a +3.
Perception, yeah, +3. 18.
18. All right, yeah. You gather enough by looking over this individual that, while not have seen one so up close before, you've definitely heard tale over the past couple of years to know that this is a warforged. On the back of the horse, ready at any moment to take you off into Oakhurst.
Okay. Well, I turn to Chimerus and say, "So, who's your friend here?"
Ah, yeah. That's Diane.
His name is Diane.
Yeah, Dian.
Doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
Diane.
And is he also of your order?
Yes and no. It's complicated. We just kind of happened upon him one day in a bit of a sorry state. A lot of his kind have been popping up the last couple of years. All over the place. Seems to be, from what he said, it's a complicated displacement due to, unfortunately, war.
Yes, well,
And
war is always negative, no matter which way you cut it.
yeah. But he was a bit busted up, a bit in need of repairs, as it were. Took him back to Helm's Hold, helped him out, and he's decided to stick around and help out. Thankfully, not short on loyalty.
Loyalty's a hard thing to come by these days.
Indeed. And Diane looks back, says, "Are we all ready?"
Yeah.
So, the cart, is it just like a regular type of like horse-drawn cart?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that so is the Warforged on top of the horse?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll hop in shotgun.
All right.
Very strong.
Also, about how tall is the Warforged? Like just like a regular like humanoid Warforged?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 5'10".
Okay. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, is this one of like the hulking ones? Because if it's hulking one, that poor fucking horse.
Yeah, no, it's it is very much like regular humanoid in shape. And also with your perception check, you have noticed on its hands are just 2 fingers and a thumb on each.
Oh. Okay.
They're drastically larger than what you would what yours would be like.
Right.
But yeah. And so you all hop into this cart and are drawn out by the Warforged and head off for the town of Oakhurst.